is the energy sector. Mr. Kwarteng, the president said that we have a huge, debt for that sector, and he's going to roll out an electricity master plan. He's going to list the GRIDCo, etc., on the stock exchange to try and turn it around. But the bottom line for the listeners who are listening and watching is the doomsaw. There's a sense that it's back. I don't know if we got a sense that it's going to be dealt with quite adequately, because it says it's a financial problem. We have a debt. How are you going to get the money to So what is happening?
Well, we will. If you have to take a look at the entire energy sector, there's so much indebtedness, and the fundamental problem is this: we produce power. The state-owned entities produce some of the power, VRA and others, and then you also have some private people producing power. The current arrangement is that you all have to sell to ECG and NETCO so that they would on-sell to consumers. When they sell, they don't get back their money because they are being owed by government, individuals are not paying. You have so many inefficiencies, operational losses, you have corruption in there. The result is that those who produce the power then don't get paid for the power they produce, and then you have indebtedness all over the place. And so the energy sector debt, as the president gave it, is $2.4 billion right now. Now, it is this that brings the doomsaw, because if the producer says, you're not paying me, I can't buy crude, then that's it. There'll be no power, there'll be shortages. Occasionally, maintenance and other such activities would give rise to shortage, but the problems we have had has been that of money.
Is what is happening right now part of lack of money? Because we are experiencing,
I'm not
some level of...
I don't know, honestly. Now
your home hasn't gone off?
Officially, no, not yet. Officially, yes, honestly. Officially, ECG and the others have not announced that they are rationing. We can go into it, but the broad point I'm making is that this doomsaw, the way we try to fight it, and in the last 6 months, you see the levies that have been collected to deal with, and the recoveries and some of the problems in the energy sector, we took money from it, and whereby you gave it to BOST, and BOST did all kinds of things with that money. That is the point I made in Parliament the other time. So it is this wrong management of resources in the energy sector.
Misapplication.
Yes, this wrong, that gives rise to the situation where we just cannot buy fuel to power our generators, or sometimes to even upgrade our equipment to produce the power. We think that whilst in the short term we will do our best to provide reliable power, we would look for the money in the midst of very difficult fiscal situation. When I say difficult, you have so much outstanding liabilities. I mean, money that expenditures that we have made but for which we have not paid. We have so many of it around. We need to look for money to pay. We have to deliver on some of our own commitments, and I can assure Kofi that we are not going to roll out everything at a go, because we want the rolling out of these initiatives to be durable. So we will take our time, but in the end, we will deliver on all our commitments. But the point the broader point I'm making is that, yes, the energy sector issues will have to be dealt with comprehensively, and that is why the president spoke about what we want to do with our power generators. We are now looking to make VRA focus on hydro, let the thermal, the management of the thermal go to other people. We are looking at a comprehensive way of ensuring that this problems in the energy sector, plus we are paying closer attention to what is happening to ECG, the concession. We want to go into the concession.
In the place we want to have a bit more of a dialogue.
Yes, we want to engage more with Americans, and also with
the aim of renegotiating some of the deal.
No, no, that contract has not been awarded yet. There are people who have been shortlisted. We need to go in and examine the terms again, and ensure, and it is part of a comprehensive plan to ensure that the energy sector indebtedness are removed, and that going forward they would so operate that we will not have a situation where we can't find money to buy crude, and therefore the people of this country have to sleep in darkness.
I'll come to a very quick answer, question. I mean, for those who are listening, can you assure us that there is money to buy crude now and the long, medium term?
As for money, if you ask me, there's no money.
There's no money.
So we've made a lot of indebtedness. We've made a lot of.
So doesn't mean that.
No, but let me. When you don't have money, then you look at ways of meeting your immediate expenditures. We will do our best in that regard. It is in our interest as a government that we never see the doomsday that we have been seeing.
But because you can't guarantee that with the challenges you have.
Well, we will do our best. When you say you can't guarantee, then you frighten people. They think it's going to happen.
But people need to know the truth and the reality.
The future is not for anybody. But what I can say is that we recognize that because our strategies are based on private sector performance, if we fail on energy, our entire strategy will be in danger. So we will do whatever it takes to ensure reliable power supply, especially as we move on and we begin to find our feet and we begin to sort out the difficulties and the mess and the over expenditures and all the wrong things we have been. We begin to give the assurance that going forward,
we can make a categorical statement on doomsday. And the point is simple. Doomsday was never solved. The energy sector was put on steroids in the last quarter of last year. And what happens, the doctors will tell you, you can get rid of the symptoms, all right? But the steroids are wearing off now, and we are going back to the problem. Technically, we are still using emergency power. You don't solve a problem when you're still using emergency power. Where is the strategic reserve? Now, I'm saying this because I want the new government to appreciate that you are not coming to inherit a situation that you need to manage. You are coming to now solve the problem durably. Our energy system is still based on Kwame Nkrumah's construct, of cheap energy to individuals and homes, and therefore we are giving more expensive energy to industry, which should be the other way around. Now that construct has failed totally. Now you have to have a situation where people using energy are paying for it. And look, we pay more for energy here than in the US. So it is not about that. We have increased electricity costs so much. So it is really baffling that we are not dealing with this matter. So the point is this. MPP, you have to now solve doomsday.
Did you hear enough in the president's inauguration address to convince you that they're going to do that?
No, I didn't. And indeed, what I heard, and Kweku is saying it right now, we are having situations, they are looking for a way to deal with the immediate challenges we are having. Indeed, that's what you have to do. In the short term, you stop the bleeding, keep people going. But why I'm making the point that doomsday was never solved is that now they have to go down and solve it. We've signed over 40 PPAs, power purchase agreements, and with all due respect, some of it doesn't make sense.
This is a review, so you have
I totally agree, but again, I don't want it to be, it is a very technical thing. So again, they should get down, put their noses down, and really solve it. You have 4 years, and he's right. You don't deal with energy, you can forget about everything else that you are talking about.
Mr. Hagan, I don't want us to go back to what NDC did because people are sleeping in darkness right now, etc. So they don't want to hear that. Going forward, you heard the president speak. The plans, he says, the finance minister will come and give us a bit more detail. What do you want to see going, knowing what you know in the past? You were the deputy trade and industry minister. You know how it killed a lot of industry in Ghana. What do you want to see, with the benefit of what you've learned, what do you want to see going forward to rectify this once and for all?
The energy sector debt is not something that started 4 years ago or 8 years ago. It's basically a legacy debt.
There's a legacy debt, yeah.
That's been going on for years as a result of, government subsidizing, the energy sector heavily in the past. And some of the things that we did was basically to get rid of these subsidies. There were FX losses. Yeah, there was FX losses. Basically, these suppliers making, free money, from government. We had issues to do with Nigerian gas and other, not getting a gas and having to replace it with buying crude because it became a security issue. And any time that, we don't have the gas, we need to, quickly find money at whatever rate to do some of these things. Now, I don't want to go into the argument of what doomsday was,
let's look forward.
But the issue is this. We need to find a permanent solution. I mean, some of the solutions, where maybe we have some temporary solutions in there, are waiting for other things that people have signed and coming in to do that are still not being completed. So there's still a long way to go. But, you know, I couldn't understand. Sometimes I find it difficult to reconcile. But then again, we'll get a budget and we'll see what's really going on with the MPP. I mean, we can talk qualitatively, but everything we do in an economy has a quantitative, you know, implication because of the fiscal implications of it. Now, if you want to introduce, and I know I will wait when we get to the education side of things. If you want to introduce certain things that will increase your expenditure items or increase the expenditure side of it, you cannot at the same time, also yes, there's waste and other things. You cannot at the same time say, I'm going to reduce taxes, which is basically, I mean, there are two components of taxes, your revenue, tax revenue and other revenues from oil and all that. So they said that within 30 days or something, they were going to get rid of this energy sector levy. And I don't really know what is happening. So maybe Honorable can
maybe we have to wait for the budget.
I don't recollect. Did you give a 30-day?
No, I didn't look, because somebody said this, and I want to pull up their manifesto, which is a document you can verify.
Let's take the 30 days.
It didn't say 30 days. They said they'll reduce. They'll reduce. that is what the budget says. Your brief comment on this.
Really, Kofi was right. It was obvious that DUMSO wasn't fixed. But that is no excuse for us to be subjected to recurrent DUMSO. Let's be honest. So the president and his team must fix it. It's as simple as that.
Now let's...